Hi everyone. I am about to post a really special video of a good friend of mine named Margaux. And Margaux was on my last year's trip to LimitLes in Bali with me, and she is a super special person. And this video is full of so many of her lessons, and I was really unsure about posting it at first, and then I watched it over and over and over again because it is that good and that meaningful and that purposeful. And so I just can't keep it to myself. I have to let the world know how beautiful and amazing Margaux was. And it's with a heavy heart that I say Margaux actually passed away from metastatic stage 4 breast cancer. So while we no longer have her to learn from in person, it's pretty amazing that we have this video, and in her absence, we still learn. So here's this video, and here's Margaux's. Cool. Yeah, this is gonna be super informal.
Okay.
And you look great.
Thanks.
We're just gonna start with the common, how are you feeling right now in this moment question.
I'm feeling really calm, and I feel like really good, like the best I've felt in so long, so long. I don't have any pain. I haven't taken any like medication in like a week, and I just feel good.
Why do you think that is?
Stepping away, being out of like the hustle and bustle of my normal life, taking some time to just focus on me, not being worried about what everyone else thinks, not being worried about my job right now, just like taking a true mental break, which I think as a New Yorker, or maybe anyone, I don't think it matters, like we as Americans don't take time out for ourselves enough. We don't take breaks. Like we have a very different mentality, I think, than the rest of the world, where they take time to travel, and it's just, I don't think it's a typical thing for Americans. We're told to like work. Vacation time is precious. People don't get a lot of it.
What made you want to come all the way on the other side of the world to Bali to meet a complete stranger and hang out with complete strangers?
I've never done it before. I've never gone on a trip like this in my life where I literally know no one. The only thing I can think of that's slightly closer was when I was 9 years old and I went to sleepaway camp for the first time, not knowing anyone. But I was a child, not an adult. So this for me was like, I saw it and I was like, okay, like I'm totally trying to take time out for myself, and I wanted to do it without any of my family. I supported the trip, like I was able to pay for it myself. I didn't have to ask for help, and it was all me. And I felt like super empowered that like if I got the option, like I was gonna be able to do this on my own and not ask for help.
Let's go back to the beginning. What made you fill out the application to begin with? What made you fill out that application?
I knew I had the time to do it, the time to go on this trip. When I saw the opportunity, I was currently on a leave of absence from work. And at first I was a little bit concerned, like, oh, what if I want to go back to work and how am I going to take this time off? And I kind of just stopped myself and said, like, this trip is supposed to be for me. And like, I decided that, like, I've been trying to live like day by day and really take time out for myself given my health situation. And it was kind of like, oh my God, like this is perfect timing. Like I still have so many days left of vacation for the year. Work thankfully has been super supportive of me and what I need, and I'm gonna go for it. And I've never been to Bali, and I'm always looking for new places to go to, and I've never traveled this way. I'm used to traveling with a partner, not with a bunch of girls, which is intimidating of itself, but I felt like it was gonna be like a huge growth opportunity and kind of like channeling getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, which I think a lot of us don't take the time out to do. We're so used to like our normal day to day, and I just felt like it was time to like push myself a little bit more emotionally and physically.
I know it's super personal, so feel free to completely shoot this down. But do you want to kind of dive into your health situation at all?
Sure. So I have never had a health problem in my life. I'm super fortunate. I'd get my annual doctor visits and, you know, go for checkups, but growing up, I was never on any medications, never had any issues, never had any serious ailments. I had my tonsils out when I was 19, like totally not a big deal. But in April of 2016, I started feeling like there was a lump on the left side of my breast, and at first I thought it was a bruise, truly thought it was a bruise, and it kind of just wasn't going away. And I was sitting at work, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I kept like touching the side where I felt it, and I kind of was like, Margaux, drop everything, like call the doctor and go to the doctor. And went in. Initially they were like, it's probably nothing, but we'll check it. And then within a few days I ended up having a biopsy, a mammogram, and found out at the age of 30 that I had breast cancer. And I was shocked. No one in my family has ever had, in my immediate family, like my brother, my parents, no one's ever had like a serious problem. Like I said, like I've been super fortunate. And it was kind of like my whole world just like flipped upside down. Had a double mastectomy, went through 16 rounds of chemo, 25 rounds of radiation, and thankfully I did make a full recovery. Sadly though, within less than a year of my recovery, found out after feeling funny in my stomach that it came back. And this time it came back in my liver and somewhat in my bones in my back. And that means that now I have stage 4 breast cancer, also known as metastatic breast cancer. And it's something that you can never overcome. So it's a chronic disease for me now for the rest of my life. I will be on some sort of treatment, whether it's chemotherapy, immunotherapy, or maybe there'll be something else for me down the line, but I'll have something going on that I'll be needing to be on forever. For me, I've felt like I've gotten over like the fact that like I have cancer. It's been 2 years now, and it's been a little bit over a year that I was diagnosed as stage 4. What frustrates me the most is, I think, the things that cancer has taken from me. My hair twice so far, and the fact that I will never be able to carry a child. Those two things, like, is super emotional for me that I can't do. But with that, I try to keep just thinking ahead and thinking like, well, what can I do instead? So I try to do everything physically and mentally to kind of like push myself so that I feel like I can still do anything I want and not let it affect me in my day-to-day, which at times it's super easy and at times it's super hard. I'm fortunate enough that my body worked with me for this trip, because right before it I was freaking out that something was going to happen and I was going to have to come home, and you know, that's not what I came here for. I came here to like fight through it. And yeah, it's a tough situation. I'm 33 now, and I don't know how long I have to live. Someone in my situation, if you go read like a medical book, says I could live 1.5 years to 3 years max. And I don't feel like I've done nearly what I came here to be on this earth for. Other people live longer, so it's a crapshoot, truly. And I try to just live in the day and take every day for what it is, and appreciate little things, and not get myself involved in things that I know will make me upset. That's all I can do.
I love you. Please be in my life forever. I think your positivity is infectious.
Thank you.
You're really, really courageous. What does October mean to you?
October's a funny month. It's funny, like I think back to like 5 years ago, before the whole breast cancer thing for me. And I remember, I don't know why this is my memory, watching football season in the beginning of the year, and I'm not a sports sports fan, but like I'm not into super watching, like watching sports is not something that like I love doing. But I always remember every year during like football season when all the football players wear their pink. It always made me laugh. Like I don't know why, it just, and like I always wanted to see it on TV. Like something about it just like gave me thrill of like seeing all these football players wearing pink and running around. So that's kind of like my like one of the things I think about. It's so random, but I just do. But now with my situation, I don't know, I'll say what I said a couple days ago when it was October 1st. Like, I love it and I hate it. I love it because I try to see the good in what it means, which means people are becoming more aware of what having breast cancer means. Younger women are becoming aware of what breast cancer means. There's a whole new group of us women who are under the age of 40 with breast cancer and dealing with something that I think 5 years ago we didn't hear about as much. When I first got diagnosed, everyone, a lot of people came to me, they're like, oh, you want to talk to my grandma? She had breast cancer. And I'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, I like what Breast Cancer Awareness Month is doing now because I think society has changed the shape of it. Do I love the pink? No, but maybe that's because that's just not my favorite color. I don't jive with it. I don't know why pink was chosen. I'm not really sure how that even started, actually. Maybe I should, do some research. But I don't know. I try to see the good in it of, what it means, even if it means, people supporting charities that they wouldn't normally support and raise money for research, because research is what's going to help us find a cure for what I have. You don't really die anymore from stage 1, 2, or 3 breast cancer. You only are really going to die from stage 4, which is what I have. So, I don't know. I hope I like to see that it's doing good things.
I would love it if you told us a little bit about Go Forward.
So, when I first got diagnosed, I have an older brother. He's 5 years older than me, so he's 38 now. I'm 35. His name is Ari. He's the best big brother. I love him so much. And my brother and I used to always talk about, me leaving finance, because I work in finance and I work a really strenuous job, and always talking about, what I can do from a philanthropic perspective. And I always say that it kind of chose me, because I was kind of lost of, what I was supposed to support. I always kind of supported a lot of different things, but I never honed in on one thing. And now, so when I got diagnosed, my brother and I came up with this term of, Go Forward. So my name is Margaux, and it's spelled Margaux. So Go, Gaux, and then Forward, kind of coined the term and brought them together. And I just that's me. I try to think about every day, just keep going forward. I can't look back. I can't change anything about what happened to me. It was out of my control. There's nothing I could have done to stop it. I have no genetic mutations that would have helped me, because I don't carry any of those genetic mutations that they warn people about to then get a double mastectomy as a preventative measure. So for me, there was really nothing I could have done. So Go Forward has been my own little mantra, my own little term that's helped me just take on day by day. And the reason I did it also was because when I was diagnosed, I didn't want gifts and I didn't want presents from friends. I don't know, something about being sick and I don't know, I just was I didn't want people feeling bad for me all the time. I'm a super independent person who likes doing everything for themselves. I don't like relying on people for things, probably sometimes too my downfall, but I wanted to help others who were in a far more worse situation than I was, you know, struggling monetarily from breast cancer, because it bankrupts people who don't have health insurance. So I basically emailed all my friends and family, everyone I could think about, and said, basically told everyone that I got sick, and felt like they were going to know anyways I was going to lose my hair, and ended up raising $150,000 for an organization called the Pink Fund. And they help women who are going through active treatment, and help them pay their bills while they're in active treatment. So whether it's their mortgage, their childcare, their car payments, things that they need to live. And this organization works directly with the bill payers. So the money never hits the patients. They just submit their bills and they get paid for a period of time. And to me, like, I'm so fortunate. Like, I don't have to worry about money because of my job and my career, and it's something that I think people take for granted. Like, I'm very fortunate. I don't have to worry about health insurance, and I just felt like, I don't know, whenever I help other people, I feel better. So it was my own way too of like making myself feel better, and it really does, and I always try to do it all the time.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you for telling the story.
Thank you.